Stop for a second. Just stop whatever you're doing and look at this number. $2,500. That's not a Christmas bonus. That's not overtime pay. That's not some crypto pump and dump that will disappear tomorrow. This is the second salary deposited into my account every single month, like clockwork, by a self operating AI system that never sleeps, never complains, and never asks for a raise. The goal of this video is brutally simple. I'm not here to motivate you with empty quotes. I'm not here to sell you a dream. I'm going to show you exactly how to use AI to buy back 40 hours of your work week. 40 hours. That's a full-time job. That's your life. That's time with your kids, your partner, yourself. If you're exhausted from your 8-hour grind, if you're terrified every time you look at inflation, at your rent increase, at your grocery bill, at your stagnant paycheck, this isn't a promise. This is a survival plan. You don't need another motivational speech. You need a system. And that's exactly what I'm giving you today. Right now. Look at this logic. Let it sink into your bones. Let it make you uncomfortable. While your main salary stays flat or creeps up 3%, if you're one of the lucky ones who even gets a raise, the cost of living in the US and UK is jumping 7 to 10%. Rent, food, petrol, childcare, energy bills, council tax, insurance, everything. Do the maths with me. Let's say you earn 50,000 a year and Jetta 31,500. Congratulations. But if inflation is at 8%, you've effectively lost $2,500 in purchasing power. You're not standing still. You're moving backwards. You are getting systematically, mathematically, undeniably poorer every single month. Not because you're lazy, not because you're bad with money, not because you're not working hard enough. Because the system is designed to keep you running on a hamster wheel while the cost of living sprints ahead. The result I'm showing you right here, $2,500 a month, $30,000 a year, tax efficient, automated, verified, came from hiring AI to do the work instead of grinding yourself into dust. I'm showing you the outcome first because I know you don't have time for waffle. I know you've watched 100 videos that promised everything and delivered nothing. I know you're skeptical. Good. You should be. You need to see the light at the end of the tunnel before you start walking. This is proof, not theory, not hype. Actual, bankable, repeatable proof. I know you're tired. I mean, really tired. Not just the physical tiredness from lack of sleep, though that too, but deep down in your marrow, existential, soul-crushing tiredness. The kind where you're not even sure what you're working for anymore. The kind where you've forgotten what excited about Monday morning even feels like. I know the feeling. I've lived it. Standing in the office car park at 6 p.m., staring at the steering wheel, feeling like a failure even though you've worked your absolute arse off. You get home. The kids are already asleep or glued to their screens. You microwave last night's leftovers. You eat standing up in the kitchen. You scroll your phone for 20 minutes, watching other people live what looks like better lives. Holidays, new cars, dinners out, while you wonder where all your money went. Then you do it all again tomorrow, week after week. Month after month, year after year. For what? So you can barely keep your head above water? So you can feel a tiny knot of anxiety in your chest every time you check your bank balance? So you can lie awake at 3 a.m. doing the mental maths of what if I lose my job? You're scared of losing your savings? Good. That fear is logical. That fear is intelligent. That fear means you're a responsible human being with people who depend on you. That fear means you're not a reckless gambler. That fear means you're ready to listen. But here's what they don't tell you, and this is important. Playing it safe is the most dangerous thing you can do right now, because inflation doesn't care about your fear. It doesn't care that you're a good parent or a hard worker or that you've never missed a bill. It just eats, relentlessly, quietly, every single day. Like termites in the walls of your financial house. That's why the second salary strategy is built on one ultimate principle: absolute capital protection by algorithm. Not by hope, not by luck. Not by crossing your fingers and praying to the market gods. Not by manifesting. By cold, hard, unforgiving, back-tested, stress-tested mathematics. The reason you don't have a second income yet isn't a lack of knowledge. Let me say that again. It is not a lack of knowledge. You already know what you should do. Invest more. Save more. Start a side hustle. Learn a new skill. Build passive income. You've watched the YouTube videos. You've read the articles. You've listened to the podcasts. You've bookmarked the How to Get Rich threads on Reddit. You've bought the courses that are still sitting unopened in your inbox. But knowing and doing are two different planets. The real gap is energy. After 8 or 9 hours in an office, after the soul-crushing commute, after the endless meetings and passive-aggressive emails and office politics and fake smiles, your brain is empty. You've got nothing left. Zero. Zip. Nada. The idea of spending another 2 hours learning to trade or building a business feels like a cruel joke. You don't need more information. You need more energy, and you're not going to get it by working more or waking up earlier. That's where AI walks in. AI never gets tired. It has zero emotions. It doesn't have bad days. It doesn't argue with its spouse. It doesn't lie awake at 3 a.m. worrying about the mortgage. It doesn't scroll TikTok for an hour. And it scans, analyses, and processes data a million times faster than you ever could. A million times. That's not an exaggeration. We're going to use AI as an employee, a worker that never sleeps, never complains, never asks for a raise, to run an automated wealth management strategy. Think about that. While you're sleeping, your AI employee is working. While you're at your kid's football match, your AI employee is working. While you're on your first proper holiday in 3 years, your AI employee is working. While you're stuck in traffic, while you're cooking dinner, while you're watching Netflix, your AI employee is working. That's not a hustle. That's not side income. That's leverage. That's the difference between trading your time for money and having money work for you. Let me be brutally honest with you. The traditional financial advice you've been fed your entire life by parents, by teachers, by banks, by financial advisors is outdated. Completely, dangerously, almost criminally outdated. Cut out your morning coffee. Stop eating avocado toast. Pack your lunch instead of eating out. Cancel your Netflix subscription. Put $50 a month into a savings account. Are you serious? That playbook was written for a world that no longer exists. A world where houses cost 3 times annual salary, not 12 times. A world where university didn't require a second mortgage. A world where pensions actually existed. A world where inflation was 2% and savings accounts paid 5%. That world is gone. It's never coming back. Let me show you the maths. Right now, the average savings account pays less than 1% interest. Many pay 0.1%. Some pay literally nothing. Inflation is running at 7 to 10% in the US and UK. Every single dollar or pound you leave in a bank account is losing 6 to 9% of its value in real time, every single year. That means if you have 10,000 in savings today, in 5 years, it will have purchasing power about 6,500. You didn't spend it. You didn't lose it in the stock market. You didn't make a bad investment. You just left it in the safe place they told you to leave it. And you lost $3,500. That's not saving. That's slow motion self-destruction. And the other option you've been sold? Learn to trade stocks. Spend 20 hours a week studying charts. Wake up at 4 a.m. like a real entrepreneur. Join my course, and I'll teach you my secret strategy. Who has time for that? You've already got a full-time job and a family. The idea that you're going to become a professional trader on top of everything else is fantasy. Pure fantasy. And the people selling that dream? They're making money from your clicks and course purchases, not from trading. That's why AI changes everything. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter by offloading the work to machines designed for this purpose. So here's the strategy. Instead of chasing risky speculative waves, instead of gambling on meme stocks, crypto hype, get rich quick schemes, penny stocks, or your cousin's hot tip, this second salary is built methodically, systematically, boringly even. And boring is beautiful when it comes to making money. Boring is sustainable. Boring is reliable. Boring is what rich people do while poor people chase excitement. We use large language models, the same technology behind ChatGPT, and algorithms to hunt for value discrepancies in digital assets and indices. What does that mean in plain English? No jargon. We're looking for mispriced assets, things the market has temporarily undervalued or overvalued. Small inefficiencies that last minutes or hours, not days or weeks. Tiny gaps between what something is worth and what someone is willing to pay for it right now. And we exploit them systematically with machine precision over and over again, thousands of times while you sleep. Think of it like arbitrage. If a bottle of water costs 1 a tone Chopin 2 at the shop next door, you buy at 1 and sell at 2. That's profit. Simple. The only problem is humans are too slow to spot these differences across thousands of markets, thousands of assets, thousands of price movements simultaneously. By the time you see the opportunity, it's gone. But AI can watch every market, every asset, every price movement, every news feed, every social media signal in real time. It can spot an inefficiency in 0.3 seconds and execute a trade before you've even blinked. That's the unfair advantage. That's the edge. That's why hedge funds pay millions for this technology. And because the system is automated, it doesn't get tired. It doesn't get greedy. It doesn't get scared. It doesn't revenge trade after a loss. It doesn't get overconfident after a win. It just executes the strategy over and over with cold, emotionless, perfect consistency. The second salary runs on mathematical accuracy, not luck, not gut feeling, not I have a good feeling about this one. You don't need to study 10 hours a day. You don't need to become a chart reading expert. You don't need to learn Python or any programming language. AI does that part in 10 seconds and hands you the final decision. Your job is simply to say yes or no. That's it. That's the extent of your involvement. Think of it like this. You're the captain of a ship, but you've got an entire crew of AI analysts, AI traders, and AI risk managers working for you 24/7, 365 days a year. They never sleep, they never take a break, they never make emotional decisions. You don't need to know how the engine works, you just need to steer. And here's the best part, because the system is automated, it scales. $500, $5,000, $50,000. The AI doesn't care. It treats every dollar the same. That means you can start small. With money you would have spent on takeaway or subscriptions, prove the system works for you, and grow over time without changing your strategy, without relearning anything, without upgrading. You don't need to be rich to start. You just need to start with whatever you have, wherever you are. Let me be completely transparent with you because you deserve that. No strategy is risk-free. Anyone who tells you different is lying to your face. Anyone who promises guaranteed returns is trying to sell you something. But here's the difference between what we're doing and what most people do. Most people gamble. They put money into something because it's going up, or because their friend made money, or because they saw it on TikTok. That's not investing. That's speculation with extra steps. Our strategy is built on risk management first and profit second. The protection system I mentioned earlier, the mathematical thresholds, is not an afterthought. It's the foundation. We don't try to predict the future. Nobody can. Anyone who claims they can predict the market is either lying or delusional. We just react faster than everyone else. And we have hard, unbreakable automated rules for when to stop. If the system detects unusual volatility, it pauses. If a trade moves against us beyond a certain percentage, it closes automatically. No questions asked, no hesitation, no maybe it'll recover. If market conditions don't meet our strict criteria, it sits on its hands and does nothing. Sometimes the best trade is no trade, and AI understands that better than any human ever could because it has no ego. It doesn't need to be right. It doesn't need to prove anything. It just follows the rules, every single time, without exception. Let me pause here and speak directly to the part of your brain that's making excuses right now. You know the voice. We all have it. It's the protector. It wants to keep you safe in the familiar, even when the familiar is slowly killing you. I'll do it next month. I need to learn 10 more first. Let me just get through this busy period. I'll start after the holidays. I don't have enough money right now. What if I lose everything? What if it doesn't work for me? What if I'm not smart enough? I need you to hear something uncomfortable. Something you won't hear from the gurus who want you to stay scared and dependent. By 2026, less than 2 years from now, the world will have no room for people with a single income stream. None. Zero. The days of a good job being enough are over. They've been over for a while. Most people just haven't realized it yet. AI is already learning how to replace your job at the office. Not in 10 years, not in 5 years. Now, today. Right now, companies are using AI to do the work of entire departments. Marketing copy, AI customer service, AI data analysis, AI coding, AI. Legal research, AI. Accounting, AI. Translation, AI. If you use AI to create money, it's a tool. It's your ally. It's the difference between surviving and thriving in the new economy. It's the difference between being replaced and being the one doing the replacing. But if you ignore it, if you bury your head in the sand and hope it all goes away, it's the enemy. It's the force that makes your skills obsolete and your job redundant. It's the thing that will have you standing in line at the job center at 50 years old, competing with 22-year-olds who grew up with this technology. The biggest risk isn't making a bad investment. Let me repeat that because it's the most important thing I'll say. The biggest risk is not making a bad investment. The biggest risk is doing nothing. The biggest risk is waking up at 45 years old, tired, broke, and terrified, still having to beg on your knees for a job when the system has already decided it doesn't need you anymore. The biggest risk is getting to the end of your working life and realizing you spent 40 years trading your time for money and have nothing to show for it except exhaustion and regret. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because someone needs to tell you the truth. The financial media won't tell you. Your employer won't tell you. The banks won't tell you. They all benefit from you staying exactly where you are. Scared, tired, and compliant. The window of opportunity is closing. Every month you wait, the technology gets better, the competition gets smarter, and you fall further behind. Procrastination isn't harmless. Procrastination isn't being careful. Procrastination is a slow, quiet, respectable form of suicide. And it's completely optional. You can choose differently right now. I know you're carrying an entire family on your shoulders. I know because I've been there. I've felt that weight pressing down on my chest at 3 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. I've felt the guilt of not being present enough and the guilt of not providing enough, all at the same time. Every dollar you earn is sweat and tears. It's late nights and early mornings. It's missing school plays and birthday parties and parent-teacher evenings because you had to work. It's the look on your child's face when you say, not tonight, daddy's tired, or maybe next time, mommy has to work. It's the argument with your partner about money that starts small. Did you really need to buy that? And becomes about everything else. About respect, about fear, about the future. You don't want to take risks because you're terrified your children will suffer. You lie awake at night doing the mental maths. What if I lose it all? What if I make the wrong decision? What if my family pays for my mistake? What if they hate me for it? I get it. I really, truly get it. That fear isn't weakness. That fear is love. Pure, primal, protective, parental, ferocious love. It's the most powerful force in the world, and it's the very thing that's keeping you stuck. But here's the truth that keeps me awake at night. You're already risking their future. You're risking it by standing still. You're risking it by accepting the slow, steady, silent erosion of inflation. You're risking it by putting all your faith in a single paycheck that could disappear tomorrow with no warning. Every day you rely on one income, you're one accident away from disaster. One redundancy, one medical emergency, one market crash, one we're letting you go meeting on a Friday afternoon. That's not safety. That's not responsibility. That's a house of cards built on a foundation of wishful thinking and hope. And hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a plan. Hope is what you have when you don't have a system. The second salary isn't about getting filthy rich like the Instagram gurus in their rented mansions. I don't care about Lamborghinis or champagne pools. That's not real life. That's a fantasy designed to sell you something. This is about something much more important. Something real. Something that matters at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. It's about waking up on a Tuesday morning and knowing that if your child is sick, you can take the day off without watching your boss's face, without calculating how much that day will cost you, without the knot of anxiety in your stomach that feels like swallowing stones. It's about looking at your partner across the dinner table, really looking at them, seeing the tiredness in their eyes, and knowing you've got a backup plan. That if everything falls apart tomorrow, you won't fall with it. That you've built something that can't be taken away by a bad economy, or a bad boss, or bad luck. It's about the self-respect of a father, of a mother, of someone who refuses to hand their family's financial future over to luck. You want to know what freedom actually feels like? It's not yachts and champagne. It's the absence of fear. It's looking at your bank account and knowing, not hoping, not praying, knowing that you're going to be okay, that your kids are going to be okay. That's what we're building here. That's the real second salary. That's the legacy. Now it's time to talk process. You've seen the proof. You understand the logic. You feel the urgency for your family. You've heard the warning about procrastination. So let me give you the actual roadmap. No fluff, no theory, just action. To get the second salary, you only need 3 dead simple steps. If you can use a smartphone, if you can order something from Amazon, if you can book a flight online, you can do this. You already have all the skills you need. Step 1, set up your digital brain. Use existing AI tools to analyze risk and identify opportunities. I'm not asking you to build software. I'm not asking you to learn to code. The tools already exist. They're already built. They're already tested. They're already used by hedge funds and professional traders around the world. I'll show you exactly how to pick the right tool for your situation and how to configure it in under 20 minutes. No technical background required, no jargon, 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. Then your digital brain is ready to work for you while you sleep. Step 2, activate the protection system. This is the most important part of the entire strategy, even more important than making money. I cannot stress this enough. Set mathematical thresholds, hard, unbreakable, automatic rules, so the machine stops itself automatically if the market turns unstable. No emotions, no hesitation. No, maybe it'll recover if I just wait. The algorithm cuts losses before they happen. That's how we protect your capital. That's how we sleep at night while others are panicking. That's how we ensure you never lose more than you're willing to lose. This isn't gambling. Gamblers chase feelings. We follow rules. Step 3, automate the cash flow. Set it up once. literally one time. Then profits flow into your account every Friday like clockwork. No manual trades, no checking charts at 2 a.m., no stressful decisions. Just a notification on your phone that says your second salary has arrived. The system handles the buying. The system handles the selling. The system handles the risk management. You just collect the results. No all-nighters, no becoming an expert. You just need to be the person operating the system. You don't need a large amount of money to start. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to take crazy risks. You don't need to trust me. You need to trust the maths. And the maths is public, verifiable, and doesn't care about your feelings. Close your eyes for a second. Really close them. Put the phone down if you need to. Take a breath. Just one. Imagine next Monday morning, not some distant fantasy someday. Next Monday, your alarm goes off. You get out of bed, not because you have to, not because you're dreading the day, not because you're already exhausted, but because you want to, because you have energy, because you slept well. You make coffee, real coffee. You sit down in a quiet moment just for you. Your phone buzzes. It's not an urgent email from your boss. It's not a passive-aggressive message from a colleague. It's not a bill. It's an income notification from your AI system. Your second salary has arrived, just like it did last week, just like it will next week. You walk into the office, if you still choose to, with a quiet smile. Not arrogance, just peace. Because you know something they don't know. You're not chained to that chair anymore. You're not desperate for that paycheck. You're not one bad day away from disaster. You're there by choice. And that changes everything. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak to your boss, the way you make decisions. You are building a legacy of freedom for your children. You are showing them that fear doesn't have to win. That a normal person, a tired, busy, ordinary person with bills and responsibilities and doubts, can take control of their financial future. You are teaching them without words that there's another way, that the 9 to 5 until you're 70 isn't the only path. Don't wait until you're completely broken to start. Don't wait until the redundancy letter arrives. Don't wait until the medical bill hits. Don't wait until you look in the mirror and don't recognize the exhausted stranger staring back. Act while you still have a choice, while you still have energy, while you still have time. Here's what I need you to do right now. Open the comments. Write these exact words. I am ready for my second salary. Those 5 words are a commitment, not to me, to yourself, to your family. I will read every single one. I will see your name. And I will know that you've taken the first step, the hardest step. You've got the blueprint, you've got the proof, you've got the process. The only thing missing is your decision. So decide. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, I'll see you on the other side of peace of mind.